For this project, I chose to focus on patterns that were in my neighborhood on a walk that I usually take every day. This pattern specifically is right in front of my house on our pathway. I've never noticed that I just love the lush, overgrown look of the brick and this kind of geometric shape with the organic matter surrounding it. This pattern I found on a tree on my walk, and I just never noticed how kind of this decay of this tree has formed these little holes and they wrap all the way around up and down the tree. I found that really interesting and it made me think about what had caused this. I haven't seen it ever before in any other tree. I'm really interested to see how such a pattern could arise. Living in Savannah, Georgia, we live so close to the shoreline, and so a lot of properties around houses, yards have shell collections, maybe around flower beds or bushes. And so several of the homes in my neighborhood have these, and I just loved looking at the different kinds of shells that were there, the different colors, and how they created this collage of texture and color underneath our feet. One of my favorite things of living where we live is the trees. I've always loved looking up when I'm around my home and around the city that I live in, and I just find this beautiful canopy, like a warm hug that you're getting with these interlocking branches and this kind of vein-like texture above your head. I talk a lot about veins and kind of this interconnecting line work, and I've been finding it everywhere, especially for this project. I loved this old weathered bark, how we have kind of roads and valleys in between it, and it leads to my next picture. I found kind of a comedy in this juxtaposition between this old weathered bark and its cracks, and the cracks in our roads. We live in a very old neighborhood. A lot of the roads are worn down, and so you see this idea of decay. But then when you think about the organic shapes, like the tree trunk, it doesn't seem like a decay idea. It's more about just growth and the natural way of things. And so I kind of was looking at the two patterns that are so similar and thinking about how we really come to understand how different materials mean something to us. When I initially took this picture, I was really excited just about the movement within this tree trunk, but the more I look at it, the more I keep thinking about hurricane models. In Savannah, Georgia, we get a lot of hurricanes, and recently in the last couple years, we've had some really big ones that have caused a lot of destruction. And so I found it um, interesting and almost comical that I could see this kind of shape in this beautiful old tree. Here we have another graphic pattern, and I find it interesting that the only other graphic pattern I really have in this collection is of the first photo, which is of the bricks in front of my home. And I really was thinking about just how, as human beings, we really like graphic order, and it's very pleasing to the eye for us. And so we have this difference between this graphic shape and then all of the organic shapes that we're drawn to as well. And I just thought that that was a really interesting idea. This is the last one of this series, and this is probably my favorite, and I think the reason why is because it incorporates our love for the organic and then our thought of decay. So we have again the road with the cracks, but how similar are they to the shadows above of the tree limbs kind of intertwining and creating this beautiful vein work. And so I kind of liked the two together and showing the two together. And I think through this project, I really enjoyed just taking a moment to slow down and look. Obviously, with the state of the world right now, we're kind of in our loops. We're in these repetition, um, these activities that are just constantly about repetition. And so, going on this walk every day, I never really thought to stop and to use my eye a different way. And so I think that this project really has given me that ability to be mindful and to really look at the world around me, though I might see it every day, try to look at it with a new eye every day.